Hello, everyone. Sorry for being a couple minutes late. We had to finish up eating dinner, and then I was going to hop on to live, and then some company showed up, and dogs started barking, so I couldn't do it downstairs, so I had to run up here quick. But hey, Jamin, hey, Randy, how you doing? But I wanted to talk about a little something about mental illness, and trying to get this done on tablet. I can't get my branding in. So, oh, there we go. All right. So, hi Genevieve, how you doing? Hey Gio, how's the Windy City today? Pretty warm up here in the North Country. But I wanted to talk a little bit about mental illnesses and mental disorders, which is the same thing. Um, we all know someone who suffers from it. You know, we all have a mental disorder to some degree. No snow yet, thank goodness. um, going to be 90 tomorrow. Weekend's going to be in the 80s. Great day for selling beer and popping kegs out at the Renaissance Festival. Um, 3 people on my shift, 3 people on the next shift. We're going to be popping kegs and making tips like you wouldn't believe. You know, but yeah, it's you know, we all have a mental illness or a mental disorder. Everyone does. It's just a matter of what degree you have it. Some it doesn't really affect, and some it affects more. You know, um, I know quite a few people that have mental disorders. You know, and how does that fit into the motorcycle community? Well, thank you. Yeah, I hope we don't suck this year. um, but in the motorcycle community, you're going to see a lot of PTSD, mostly because a lot of people in the motorcycle clubs or in the community are veterans, a very vast number. And what they go through, especially during wartime and, you know, at home during peace, they go through a lot, and a lot of them suffer from PTSD, you know, and then a lot of them go into depression. It's that 22 a day, you know, for the veterans, and there's another mental disorder right there, you know, and but our veterans seem to suffer a lot from it, and they're the ones that make up most of our motorcycle community. Yeah. Um, and they need help. I know a lot of people who haven't served in the military, and they need help. They've got serious mental disorders. Um, I know one that is he's got he's bipolar, got PTSD, depression, um, anxiety. He's got a lot, and addiction and substance abuse. You know, um, and just recently I was talking to him and told them that he wanted to leave the pub and go to a different vendor on site to work because people were talking about him, um, spreading rumors, and there's a lot that happened this year to him. But one thing I've learned and I've looked at is no matter what you say or do, if they're stuck in their head, they're not going to listen. They're not going to follow advice. They're not going to think rationally. You know, I was telling them, don't listen to these people because you didn't do anything wrong. You know, you're being held accountable for the things you did. He thinks everybody's out to get him. There's a witch hunt, which to a point, yeah, you know, but you can't listen to the voices up here. That stops you from thinking. That stops you from being uh, reasonable. You know, and so you got to do what you got to do to survive. To get by every day. Well, most of the people with mental disorders tend to go with what they know, and that's self-medicating, self-harming. You know, living a lie, living with the voices in your head telling you you aren't good enough. You're, you're a failure. You don't deserve to live. It's that type of stuff. Well, little do they realize that they are worth living. They do deserve to live, and they are worth a lot more than what they think you know, they are worth. And they have a lot to give. You know, there's another one that didn't do anything, and rumors were being spread, and they just couldn't get out of their head. And I talked to that person at the same time, and I said, don't listen to those voices in your head. You didn't do anything wrong. So just go about your business, ignore what's being said. And me being the pub master, I said, if anything's being said about you, come to me. I'll take care of it because you followed the chain. And this person stayed for this year. And I'm working hard to keep the gossip out of my pub, which is hard, you know. But but a lot of people don't know what a mental disorder is. I mean, some people go, "Well, that's just the way this person is." Well, to a point, yes. Um, Back when I was growing up, they didn't have all these names for things. You know, if you were hyper, you were just known as a hyper kid. You didn't have an ADHD diagnosis. You didn't, you know, the mental disorders weren't common. Well, they were there, but they didn't have a name, so they couldn't pinpoint it. Now you got a name for everything. You know, um, what is that one? A defiant disorder, where you don't obey authority or you don't listen to authority. You know, that's one I think is just okay. You just don't want to listen to authority, plain and simple. But they got to call it a disorder now, so that you qualify for help. You can't really get help for that, you know. But what are some of the mental disorders? You know, well, you got seven major mental disorders out there, and they're anxiety disorders, mood, psychotic, eating, personality, dementia, autism. You know, um, those are some of the type of mental disorders that we have. Well, get into a little deeper outlook into these, and if you got depression, it's a mental health disorder characterized by persistently depressed mood or loss of interest in activities, causing significant impairment in daily life. Well, depression also causes you to sleep more. You're depressed, you sleep more. Um, that's also loss of interest in your activities, like going fishing, bike riding, hunting, riding your motorcycle, stuff like that. You know, Possible cases include a combination of biological, physical, psychological, and social sources of distress. Increasingly, research suggests that these factors may cause changes in brain function, including altered activity of certain neural circuits in the brain. True, but depression can also be cured by doing simple things. You know, um, Medication. They put you on Prozac, which makes you happy, your happy pills, and keeping your house clean, you know, um, doing simple tasks, meeting the right person, which it'll make you happy, will get rid of your depression because everything's going well. You know, you're not in that downward spiral to, you know, to self destruction or self harm, you know. Um, but depression is very serious. It's not something to take lightly and joke around with. Um, too many people take their lives because they're depressed. I mean, 22 a day for the vets, our soldiers lose their lives to depression because they can't cope. They've they've seen things that they didn't want to see. They've done things they didn't want to do, but because they're a soldier and it was wartime, they did these things. I mean, you can't unsee these things. Imagine what people in World War II and World War One saw that we didn't see. Yeah, we see in the movies this, that, but that's all glamorized. That's not the real thing. When you see someone killed in front of you, you know, it does something up here. It really messes with you. And that's where your PTSD and your depression is really going to come in, you know. Um, as Gio says, I think it's the result of upbringings and PTSD. If they were in some type of trauma, growing up in the South, I've been shot at, witnessed my friend get shot and killed in front of me, and seen more. You know, so yeah, you're gonna. I mean, depression is a killer, and I believe with all the mental disorders, depression is the number one killer. That's what I think. I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm just someone who has an ear that if you need to talk to me. I'm there. I've dropped whatever I was doing to talk to someone, you know, take a phone call from someone who needed to be heard, who, you know, needed someone to listen. Hey, I've got this problem, you know, and I'm not feeling good. I'm broken. All you can do is listen and offer, offer suggestions of how to make things better, you know, do it step by step, you know. Um, that's with depression, you can't do a big jump. You got to take little steps to get to where you need to be because depression is a constant battle. It's a daily battle. You know, I've got depression to some degree. Everyone's got it. Everyone gets depressed. It just affects some people more than others. Hey, Jamin, how you doing? Um, Loved the show yesterday. Um, called me. I can't believe Stubbs called me a girly man. you know, but moving on, and you got anxiety. You know, um, and that's characterized by feelings of worry, anxiety, or fear that are strong enough to interfere with one's daily activities. Examples of anxiety disorders include panic attacks, obsessive compulsive disorder, and post traumatic stress PTSD. You know, um, anxiety. You ever have that kind of tightness in your chest? Not like a heart attack. No. Um, with a heart attack, you got other symptoms, but with anxiety, you get a tightness in your chest. It's almost like a gas bubble got stuck, and you get a dryness and soreness in your throat. And it kind of comes. It comes on, and then it takes a while for it to leave. I've experienced it many times, and one was so strong that I had that pain in my chest, but I knew I wasn't having a heart attack. My arm wasn't heavy, I wasn't shortness of breath or anything, but I had that tightness, and my mouth is dry, and I had that pain in my throat. And I talked to my wife who has anxiety, and I described it to her. She goes, "You're having an anxiety attack. You're having a panic attack." I said, "Is that how it feels? Does it hurt that much?" She goes, "Yeah, it hurts, and some people it lasts 3 or 4 days, and some people minutes or hours." My wife, um, yesterday we kind of got in a little argument, and I was talking to her, and she said she was feeling high levels of anxiety over things, what we were talking about over some things. And once we pinpointed her anxiety, where it was coming from, it lessened, and she was feeling a lot better, you know. And you know, so hi Randy, how you doing? Hey Jot, how you doing as well? You know, welcome. I'm talking about mental illness, mental disorders tonight because it affects everybody. It affects people in the motorcycle community, you know, in the regular communities. It just it just affects everybody, no matter who you are. So it fits very well. And I told my wife that I was doing this show tonight, and tears almost came into her eyes. And she said, "I'm so proud of you for doing this, for tackling this subject." I don't know a lot about mental disorders, mental illness. I really don't. All I can go is by what I read here and personal experiences with my friends. You know, that's all I can do. But I've had panic attacks. I've had anxiety, and it doesn't feel good. You know, um, I've had when I got my bike last year, my Kawasaki, going from an 1100 to a 1700 caused a lot of anxiety for me. I get on that sucker and I ride, and I could just feel it in my chest. I could feel that tightness, and it still gets me. I've had that bike for over a year, and it still gets me. You know, if I'm not certain, I'll be driving into work in the morning and I'll have that tightness, and then when I get off the bike, I feel fine, you know. Then on the way home, I don't have it, but it's just only on the morning drive, only on the morning drive. I haven't had it for the last couple months, so I'm lucky there. But it sucks. It hurts. I mean, um, I feel for the people who have the panic attacks and the high anxieties, because it sucks. It just, if they're going through that all the time, and what I experienced was just a little bit of it, yeah, I now know what these people are going through. I don't know what triggers them. I don't know how they get it. All I know, there's just certain triggers, and boom, there they go. And then when you talk it out and pinpoint stuff, it seems to help. It lessens it up, you know. Um, but you know, but PTSD, obsessive compulsive disorders, and panic attacks they're very common, and they're treatable by medication. Um, and you can usually self-diagnose it, and lab tests and imaging are not required, but a medical professional can treat your PTSD and stuff, you know. And there's more than 3 million cases per year of these um, anxiety disorders. So um, you're never alone, you know. 3 million, that's a high number to think about, you know. You're on the other channel. Um, so Jamin, all the comments from both channels are going to come up through here. I just I'm using my phone for the show, so I can't hop onto a channel and see what's being said, you know. But anxiety, you know, the anxiety disorders are very treatable, very common, you know. And but what does an anxiety disorder feel like? Feeling tense, nervous, or unable to relax, having a sense of dread or fearing the worst, feeling like the world is speeding up or slowing down, feeling like other people can see you're anxious and are looking at you. Ever, I mean, if that's what my wife goes through all the time, I feel for her. I really do, you know. And you know, because I don't want it. I've experienced it. I don't want it, you know. And like I said, she's she gets it all the time, and she's got that tightness right here, just. And I can tell when I'm not helping her anxiety, you know, because she starts going into panic attacks. She starts worrying. She gets really quiet, you know. Um, One way to tell that you've got anxiety an anxiety disorder is that your stress is way out of proportion to the event or whatever you're dealing with. You know, the inability to set aside a worry or restlessness. You know, if you really think about it, everyone has mental illnesses. Everyone's got one, Jamin. It matter to what degree. You know, I could say I have PTSD from my first marriage, the way my first wife treated me. And I know she definitely had anxiety and stuff because of the way she acted. She was always depressed, you know. Um, she's not on Prozac anymore, but she was always depressed. She was always unsure of herself. She was always second guessing. And that took its toll on me because she treated me like crap a lot. But I was with her for 20 years and we tried to work it out, and it just, um, because of other reasons, we decided to get a divorce. And it wasn't because of her mental illness or anything. No, it was other things that happened in our marriage that just didn't work. So, and then you got bipolar disorders, and that's a disorder associated with episodes of mood swings. I know quite a few people like that. Women can be classified as bipolar, even if they're not, because their mood swings are off the charts, you know. But a disorder associated with episodes of mood swings ranging from depressive lows to manic highs. I know exactly one person like that. And that person left my pub after Sunday, you know. And this person does have is bipolar. The exact cause of bipolar disorder isn't known, but a combination of genetics, environment, and altered brain structure and chemistry may play a role. My daughter's ex fiance is bipolar. He can't afford medication, so he self medicates. It's fine. He's not harming the kids, he's not harming anyone, you know. I know what he's using to self medicate, and fine, you know. He's not a dangerous person. He's very responsible, to put it that way. Um, there's like anxiety. There's more than 3,000 cases of this per year. Treatment can help, but bipolar can't be cured. You know, um, just like a lot of things, you can't get cured. Like diabetes, you can lessen the diabetes. You can be diabetic, go into pre-diabetic, and then not be, but eventually it's going to come back. So you can't be cured of diabetes. You can control it through diet and stuff, but for bipolar you can't control it through diet. You know, um, it's chronic, can last for years or be lifelong. Requires a medical diagnosis, but lab tests and imaging aren't required. What's a lab test and imaging going to tell you? They can't tell you for bipolar. Hey Stubbs, how you doing? Just talking about mental illness and how it affects people in everyday life, you know. So what are some of the characteristics of bipolar? It's feeling sad, hopeless, or irritable most of the time, lacking energy, difficulty concentrating and remembering things, loss of interest in everyday activities, feeling of emptiness or worthlessness, feelings of guilt and despair, feeling of pessimistic and everything, and self doubt. I know quite a few people like that, you know. Um, and there's different types, bipolar 1 disorder, bipolar 2, uh, cyclothymic, I can't pronounce that word, cyclothymic disorder, and bipolar disorder due to another medical or there's also substance abuse. And, it's just like what triggers bipolarness, you know, sleep issues, positive events, 10 bipolar disorder triggers and how to manage them, sleep issues, positive events, substance abuse, life changing events, stress, trauma, changes in seasons, changing or missing medications. Um, yeah. So I'm pretty sure we all know someone who's bipolar. We all know someone who fits into that. You know, I'm not bipolar. I'm just fucking nuts. you know, um, you know, I think my daughter is, her ex is. Um, I got quite a few good friends that are bipolar. I do believe my one of my cousins is severely bipolar. Um, because I'll be talking to him and things he says just doesn't make sense, you know, for what they're doing and what they say. It just doesn't ring up here. I catch red flags all the time, and you can't say nothing because they'll just deny it and throw you out of their lives, and then you never see them again. You just hope the best, you know. She definitely needs to be medicated, but or he. And all right, Jamin, and but she won't get the help. Um, or he, sorry, won't get the help because he won't. He doesn't see the problem. He doesn't see that it's there, and you can't get conservatorship because the court's going to say, well, he's not a harm to himself. He's not a harm to anyone, you know. But you know, ADHD is one which back in my day it was all hyper. You're just hyper. That's all it was. Schizophrenia. I know what schizophrenia is. It's where you see things that aren't there. You know, um, think of Russell Crowe in Beautiful Mind. He was on the quest for the Nobel Peace Prize, but he didn't know he was seeing things. He didn't know he was talking to people that weren't there. Everyone else did, and they tried to get him help, but he didn't see that. He actually thought he was talking to people that were there, and when they finally got him the help that he needed, you know, um, That might be multiple personality. Um, no, multiple personality is where you have more than one person that you think you have more than one person in your head. Um, and you're talking, like I'm talking, and then another personality will come and take over and speak differently and act differently. Schizophrenia is where you see things that aren't there. I'm pretty sure. Um, like I said, Russell Crowe in Beautiful Minds, he suffered. His character that he played suffered from schizophrenia, talking to people that weren't there, seeing things that weren't there. And then when he got the help he needed and realized, was able to tell the difference from reality and non-reality, he did fine. And he would be talking to people, and then he would ask in the movie, "Are you real?" And he knew if they were real by the answers that they gave. But um, multiple personalities is, I'll be this way, then something will trigger another personality in my mind, and I'll act different, I'll talk different, you know. Um, there'll be a different name associated with that personality. You see it in the TV show ER all the time. People with multiple personalities there. Um, want a good example of bipolar in ER? About halfway through the season, Sally Field played the mother of, can't think of her name, the character's name. Abby played the mother of Abby, and she was she Sally Field played her mom, which was bipolar and was medicated and went off the meds. You could tell she wasn't playing with a full deck. And her brother was diagnosed as bipolar as well in the show, and wouldn't accept it, then said he got medicated, but things just didn't add up when he was talking, you know. Um, that's a good example of bipolar that I can think of, other than seeing people in everyday life go through it. But it's hard to pick out in everyday life if someone's bipolar, you know. Um, Schizophrenia, you just think they're nuts, you know. Um, and talking to yourself doesn't count, you know. Um, Stubbs, I'm going to tell you, talking to yourself doesn't count as being a schizophrenia or classified as nuts. That's just, as some would say, a high form of intelligence, but we know better. you know, hey Nitro, how you doing? We're just talking about mental illness, mental disorders. You know, does a lot of us, we all have them, just to what degree? And that, so we get into that and what some of the common ones are, and what they're like, and how, like the anxiety, it's the tightness in your chest, how to tell if you're got one, you know. But what defines a mental illness? is health conditions involving changes in emotion, thinking, or behavior, or a combination. Mental illness is are associated with distress and or problems functioning in social, work, and family activities. That means we're all fucked. Um, Dry humor a little bit, but that's pretty much what a mental illness is. And like I said, we all have it, just to what degree, you know. You know, what is the most severe mental illness? By all accounts, the most serious mental illness includes schizophrenia spectrum disorders, severe bipolar, and severe major depression, as specifically and narrowly defined in DSM. What's DSM? I don't know. Um, but yeah, those are your most serious ones. I didn't think bipolar would have been there, but they put severe in front of it. So yeah, that makes sense. We're all screwed, Nitro. We're all screwed. I tell you. What can cause a mental illness? Well, let's see. Genetics, for one. You know, I don't, you know, I got diabetes. That's genetically passed down. Um, if I would have stayed more active and stuff, I wouldn't have been diabetic at my age. I would have gotten it when I was older, but shit happens, right? Your environment, childhood traumas, stressful events like losing a loved one or being in a car accident. Um, I've been fortunate enough with my childhood traumas and my stressful events that I didn't come out screwed up, you know. All right, Stubbs, you take care and be safe, and we'll chat at you later. You know, negative thoughts, unhealthy habits like getting enough, not getting enough sleep, or not eating. There's a trigger for you. Um, Drugs and alcohol, abusing drugs and alcohol can trigger a mental illness. Of course, if you drink, you're going to be all the time, you're going to be an alcoholic. Um, that's a mental illness, you know. Um, Drug abuse is a mental illness because you it runs in your mind that you got to have it. You got to have it to feel better, to be normal, to be right. You know, that's not the right way of thinking. You know, you're bouncing out too, Jamin. Well, if that's if you got to leave too, be safe, and we will catch you tomorrow. Um, you know, Also brain chemistry is a cause because some people just doesn't have all the cards playing upstairs. I know of a kid that got bit by a mosquito when he was 3, and it screwed him really bad up there, and his mind will never get more than a 6-year-old. Even though he learns and stuff like that, no, it's just the way he is. From one mosquito bite, it really screwed him up. There's your mental disorder. The kid has seizures um, all the time. Before he had brain surgery, he was having, oh God, hundreds of seizures in a day. just many ones to grand malls, hundreds a day. And with the brain surgery, it narrowed it down. But he was still having seizures, but not too many grand malls. But he was still having seizures, and they're looking at another brain surgery for him because he's losing the ability to his muscle mass or strength, losing the ability to hold his head up and being able to sit up the way he should. I really feel for this kid because I love him. He's a sweetheart. Yeah, he does things that he shouldn't, and he gets reprimanded, but he's a sweetheart. You look at his mentality, and I feel sorry for him because he really, after that mosquito bite, he didn't have a chance. You know, that one mosquito screwed everything up. Oh, yeah, you're talking about, yeah, we're all screwed, plain and simple. All right, let's see if I can do this right. Um, see if it'll let me post it in the comments. You know, and it's not letting me do that there. Let me try this. Go to this way. I got this going here. There we go. All right, process. I sent it to your messenger. So, um, yeah, you accepted that some people just not made to have a peace of mind. And that is true. You know, I feel the same way. Um, some people just, some people just weren't meant to have a brain at all. You know, process. I sent it to your Facebook Messenger account. It won't let me post it into the chat because I'm on my tablet. My tablet decides it doesn't like it. So, um, but I did send it to your Facebook. Invite a guest. No. So, um, you know, um, but alcohol and drug abuse can cause death, followed by depression, psychotic disorders, BPAD, and personality disorders. Drug and alcohol are 29%, followed closely by depression, which is 25%. You know, but and a mental illness does not usually go away on its own. You know, and it's not a phase that you'll outgrow either. Um, is this something you're going to have to live with for the rest of your life? You know, process. Did you get the link? which shows you the mental illness can't be cured, but it can be medicated.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I can hear you.
I am having some technical difficulties, buddy. Something isn't playing right.
Well, I can hear you.
Okay, I got you now. Now I can hear you. How's it going?
It's going. Just
Um, I,
thought I'd touch on a good subject tonight.
yeah, I kind of missed the beginning half. I was helping a friend. There's a massive forest fire, and so we had to go check on that. So I just got back in. I saw the topic earlier, and I kind of wanted to come in and talk about it. Mental illness. A lot of people may or may not know this about me, but I was diagnosed in 2008 with a complex post traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury, and everything that goes along with that. I've been suffering from it uh, a little bit before then, but I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit about mental illness in that form. Um,
Go ahead.
just just to say, I wouldn't wish this disability on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish these feelings on any other human being. Um, one of the main things that I get when I talk to people about it is they instantly say, "Yeah, you're just fraud. You're Social Security fraud. You're a fraud." I wish that were the case. You know what I mean? I really
Yep.
wish that were the case. If you guys can tell from my eyes, um, I don't sleep very well. One of the symptoms that comes along with that is insomnia, agoraphobia. I have a really, really, really hard time with making and keeping friends, relationships, because of the way the nature of this disability. Um, it's a silent, it's a silent killer. People don't understand sometimes that you're suffering because usually you go through this on your own, and it's almost killed me several times. I don't want to bum out the group very much here. I just would like to say that, like, suicide, there hasn't been a day that suicide hasn't ran past my mind in 2 decades, and that's daily, nightly, weekly. I have to fight against it a lot. I try to present myself in a way, put it on the mask, put it on the show, and going through the motions to make it a little bit bearable, or to try to bring myself back into reality with other people. I was given a service animal. I have a service dog, and the service dog's main function is to break me out of a hypervigilant fog. And what a hypervigilant fog is when you're in a certain situation, something will happen. Some people, the new buzzword in the trend is triggered, but that's been hijacked by a lot of people, and they don't really understand what it means. So when I get triggered in a real way, the way that's like the most dangerous to myself, it's called a hypervigilant fog. And you kind of forget where you are, what you're doing. And there's been times where I'd be in a grocery store shopping, and out of nowhere, someone's waking me up, going, "Hey, do you know where you are? Can we help you?" And so they gave me a service animal. And when I get into those moments, the dog breaks me out of it by nudging at my elbows, or sitting at my feet, and hitting my hands. Um, yeah, a couple of things with that is I have been to jail probably 3 or 4 times in the last year over over things. that come along with it: alcoholism, the drug addiction, um, the isolation is probably the worst. But I have gone to jail over it. I have I don't know why I do it, but I fight with police and I fight with myself. Could be that I'm tired. Could be that I've just had it with the bullshit. Um, I lost my family to this disability. I haven't seen my son in 13 years. I lost my career of being an audio engineer and musician due to it. And it wasn't as, I didn't think it was as bad as I thought it was. And over this time of communicating with many different counselors, trying numerous drugs, I found that it's a lot deeper than I ever could have imagined. Uh, I try to give hope to people when they come to my channel or when I talk on their channels to let them know that they're not alone and that suicide is a, permanent solution to a temporary problem. There is a lot of help out here for people like myself. Um, yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about mental illness from my angle.
That's a lot I didn't know about you. Thank you for sharing. You know,
Well, you're welcome. Hopefully, somebody could hear this and maybe get in contact with you and talk, or maybe contact me through you to get some information. I would be more than happy to teach people about what techniques have kept me alive for the last 10 years. Self-care techniques, grounding techniques. See, when you're in a mental disability, and there's many of them that are like this, but from my own experience, you don't take care of yourself. You don't care about yourself. You stop waking up or wanting to wake up. You stop bathing, brushing your teeth. You just kind of lose focus of what you're doing. There's been years where I've gone an entire year without coming outside, and I'm starting to break free of it. The motorcycle um, came back into my life. It's been in my life my whole life, but it came back into my life when I needed it to get out, get free of my place, or feeling like I had to lock in and hide. And it's really done wonders, because when you're out there on the motorcycle, you have to be in complete focus and control. You don't have time to think about the demons. You don't have time to be drunk.
yeah,
And if you do die, at least it's with a smile and not a shotgun.
right. And that motorcycle brings a smile to your face because it's something you love.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here watching you. I can see the pain. I can see it. And we've never chatted like this before. You know, we've always joked around and stuff, and you know, but yeah, thank you so much. I'm definitely hoping that someone sees this and reaches out.
Oh, and I'm up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if I'm not, I get right up. Uh, but yeah, I'm always available. I will never turn anybody away. I have a nice playlist on my channel dedicated to this topic about complex post traumatic stress and traumatic brain injury, where I give some more of the stories of how it is
Yeah.
and how people can find help. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I just wanted to come in and let you guys know what angle I'm coming from. There are resources available. I try to donate to Movember Men's Mental Health, and I always, if you ever need anything, you can always get in contact with the group here, or there are a lot of really good groups. Don't do this shit on your own. Be careful with your substance abuse.
Yeah. One thing that people need to realize, they're not alone.
Yeah.
And part of that, the disorders is they think they are when they're not. You know,
One of my main things is I'll push people away before they can have a chance to push me away or hurt me, and it's very destructive that way by forcing everyone that has a good part in your life, forcing them away from you to protect yourself from an unknown shadow ninja that's going to kick through the wall. And
yeah,
I'm off all medications except for propranolol. I have a heart medicine that slows my heart down to almost a stop when I get into severe panic and anxiety attacks. I told them because I had problems with opioids that I wouldn't be prescribed any type of opioid or benzo for my sleeping disorders. Right now, I'm up to about an 18 pack of beer a day, 2 packs of cigarettes, and those propranolol. I'm really trying to get myself off the booze, but it's kind of the only thing that can wash away the, the thoughts.
you know, and that's the self-medicating.
Yep.
And that's just as harmful.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah. I mean, I started the teas. I get a lot of garbage about drinking twisted teas, but people have to realize less than a year ago I was battling with gallons of 190 Everclear and Jack Daniels and rum. They were my poisons, and I kind of substituted the hard alcohol for the beers, trying to limit that. I went from Turkish cigarettes to Camel Lights. Um, there's just a lot to it, I don't have to question why I see a lot of our brothers and sisters fighting the inner battle, eating out of garbage cans, living on the sidewalk. I don't have to wonder. Our medical system has been a lacking, and we are reaping what we've sown. There's a lot of undiagnosed disability that people try to live with because,
yeah,
when I asked my doctor, am I insane? The doctor told me, no, you're not insane. And I said, well, how do you know? And she goes, because you're asking me if you're crazy. People that are crazy don't ask if they're crazy. All right. I just wanted to hop on and give my side of the story to kind of round out the edges on a mental illness thing. I don't share that stuff often, but this seemed to be the place. It seemed to be the time for some reason.
I thank you very much. Definitely.
I
You know,
appreciate you for having me on, and we'll talk a little bit later about it. And I just want to say thank you guys. You guys can check out my channel. I'll pop the link in the bottom here, or yeah. And if anybody's out there struggling, you're not alone. We are out here to help you.
yeah, definitely. Um, I got turned my speaker off on my phone.
It's so nice we get it twice.
Right?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna hop off and let you sign off. I'm sorry if I bummed anybody out. Okay.
Not a problem. Process. You're more than welcome.
I'm not very good at these social engagements. Take it easy, people.
All right. Thank you a lot. Process. But um, Jamin, you're still here. Can you drop Process's link in the chat, please, if possible? Trying to make him uh, a moderator, and it um, won't let me do it. And he's not on the Biker Roadhouse chat, so I can't do it there. Um, if not, I can do it. You know. All right. Thanks a lot, Jamin. Thank you very much. You know. Thank you, Process, for your story and let us know what you're going through, what you struggle with. Um, you, you got my deepest, heartfelt sympathy, for what you're going through. Um, what I can't, I'll never know what you go through. I won't, but I can understand what you're going through. Um, you know, I can talk to you more about it. I can understand more, but you know, it the mental illness is you have to experience it to understand what somebody is going through. You know, um, just by you talking about it, I saw the pain in your eyes. I saw the pain, the hurt, you know, feeling hopeless and not knowing if you're going to get better or, or like you said, you don't have a day where you're not thinking about suicide, you know. But I give you lots of compliments and props, brother. You're fighting something and you're coming out against the odds, you know. You think about suicide all the time and you don't do it. You fight it. You keep on going, you know. You're going to beat this sucker. You're going to beat it. And I'm going to be there every step of the way as long as you want me there. I'm even if you don't want me there, I'm going to be there for you, you know. I love you. You know, you're not alone. No one's alone. No one, you know. You know, reach out to someone, talk to people, use your friends, use your support network. You know, it'll make things better, it'll make things a little easier. You know, not saying it's going to be perfect, but it helps. It does. You know, um, if someone knows what somebody's going through, damn right. The song "Lean on Me" comes to mind. You know, if you're not strong, lean on me. And I'll help you carry. I'll carry you. You know, it's a hard subject today because I hear you process and I feel and you know and I love you. I love you, man. I really, really do. You know, I can just keep saying you're not alone. You're not. You know, we'll help you fight those demons. We'll help you do whatever it takes to you to beat this thing. You may never beat it, but we'll always be there for you. We'll always be there to help you. You know, you need to talk, we'll talk. You need a place, you got a place. You know, you whatever you need, you got it. Definitely. You know, um, So there you go. There's one true life story right there. Um, you know, I'm actually starting to cry because I'm not too many people come and open up to me like that, and I really appreciate it. I really do, and I feel I just do. Um, I'm not going to say I'm an empath I'm more empathic, but right here, it gets me right here. Yeah, this is your home. This is your home, brother. You know, and we've always got you. We've got your back. Always. Always. We always got you, brother. Dads loves your music. You're talented. You have so much to offer in this world. I know you don't know me, but if you ever need me, she says she'll be there for you. You know, and like Jamin, like I said, some are worse than others, but we all seem to have a little bit. You know, that we do. Hi, Nads. Sorry I didn't say hi to you earlier, um, but I'm saying it now. You know, so what happens if mental health is untreated? The consequences of mental health illness for the individual and society are staggering. Untreated mental health conditions can result in unnecessary disability, unemployment, substance abuse, homelessness, inappropriate incarceration, and suicide and poor quality of life. You just had all those examples tonight when the process talked to us and told us what he's going through. He shared all that. That's what he's going through. That's what he's experiencing. You know, um, it's a very touching show tonight. It is. You know, um, I'm actually kind of speechless. You know, um, the most treatable is the anxiety disorders. Um, Anxiety disorder produces unrealistic fears, excessive worry, flashbacks, and from past trauma leading to easy, startling changes in sleep patterns, intense tension, and ritualistic behavior. You know, and if you want to know which mental illness has the highest mortality rate, that's anorexia. You know, we lost half of the music group, the Carpenters, to anorexia. She passed away back in the 70s. You know, and that's pretty serious. You know, let's see, gunpowder. I manage my issues fairly well unless I'm drinking. Then it's hard to hold it in. Alcohol doesn't help. No, they say alcohol is the modern day truth serum because when you drink, the truth comes out. You know, I don't drink that much anymore. When I 6 months after I turned 21, I said, "This isn't fun anymore. Why am I doing this?" And partied here and there, and then hit 25, and it's like I don't need to drink anymore. So I didn't drink that much of beer. I don't drink a lot of wine, and now I'm pretty much non-alcoholics, the double zeros, because I just don't feel the need to drink. You know, um, I'm not going to say I'm a lucky one because I'm not. I'm just someone who doesn't have the mental disability like others. You know, yeah, I'm the same way. You know, um, I get up in front of a crowd and I think I'm shaking and I think I'm doing bad, and I show how much I'm nervous and how my anxiety flares up. Then people come up to me and go, "Oh, you did fine. We couldn't tell." I'm like, "Really?" They go, "No, we couldn't tell you were nervous. We couldn't tell your anxiety flared up." But to me, it did. You know, um, you know. But touching back on schizophrenia, the symptoms are delusions. These are false beliefs that are not based in reality. Hallucinations, these usually involve seeing or hearing things that don't exist, which is seeing and talking to people that aren't there. Uh, Disorganized thinking, speech. Okay, disorganized thinking is inferred from disorganized speech, extremely disorganized or abnormal motor behavior, negative symptoms. You know, so but I did see, you know, this though. How can you treat mental illness without medication? Things like therapy, brain stimulation, supplements, and self care are scientifically backed as effective ways to reduce the symptoms of certain mental illnesses. Well, you know, things that you can do like go for a walk, do something that makes you happy, like get on the motorcycle and go for a ride, lose yourself for a few hours, just go, you know, um, you know, do things that make you happy, go for walks, pet your dog, jump on the phone and talk to someone, you know, um, take a bath, um, cuss your neighbor out if that's your deal, But yeah, there's a lot of things you can do to take care of yourself to help control your whatever mental illness you have. You know, um, you know. But yeah, you know it, Jamin. Uh, I see it in your show. You get bad nerves. You get anxious. Um, you don't know what to do. You get that block, and you get nervous. You don't know what to do. You know, you think you need help, and you just you know manage to do it. But you've got people that got your back, and they'll come on to help you out. You know, I struggle to carry a show on for about an hour, and I keep telling the wife I try to keep it to an hour, but it just didn't happen tonight. You know, so And you know, there's if you're thinking about suicide, call. There's suicide prevention lines, hotlines all over the place. Call them. Call a friend. You know, no matter what your mental illness is, call someone. Let them know. If you're going through what the process is going through, let me know and I'll hook you up with them, or click on this link here in the chat and get a hold of him. He is more than willing to help anybody with anything to help you get through, help him get through things. We're all here to support each other, um, no matter what the need is, no matter what it is. We're all here to help each other. We're all family here. It's a home, you know. I love each and every one of you. Process, I love you. Jamin, I love you. Nads, I love you. Gunpowder, I love you. Genevieve, I love you all. Um, I'm not going to scroll back just to see who all has been in here. And those of you who are watching that didn't come in and chat, I love you too. You know, you need an ear, let me know. Yeah, let's call it a block. you know, like I said, the Biker Roadhouse for bikers, by bikers, just people who ride. This is our home. This is our life, people. Mental illness, it's not to be taken lightly. You know, um, how long have I been on? About an hour and a half, and I'm going to be calling it quits here because I got to get packed up for tomorrow, and I got to shower and stuff because I won't be coming back to the house tomorrow night. I'll be going right up to the festival grounds. Yep, home is where the heart is, and this is our home. You know, the unaffiliated, the Biker Roadhouse, it's home. You know, true people, true friends, true family. Um, don't think I can cover it any better than that. You know, people being real. We're not hiding. This is us. This is who we are. You know. Um, but yeah. If you're feeling suicidal, reach out. Call the suicidal hotline number. I'm sorry I don't have one to post up here. I do apologize for that. Reach out to a friend. You know, even if you have to call 911 and say you're suicidal, see if they'll talk to you. They'll send an officer. I'm not sure what an officer is going to do if they send one out, but that's where we need more human services people to come out and talk to people instead of a police officer. You know, people who are going to understand what someone's going through. Someone's going to help them to get out from up here and not listen to those voices in the head. You know, um, my door is always open. Um, if I'm sleeping and you're trying to get a hold of me, I do apologize. Um, I'll get. I can't. Getting back to you when I can is going to be, kind of a not being worthy, but you know, um, when I'm sleeping, that's the best I can do. You know, um, y'all need me coming during the weekend. I'll answer when I can. You know, I'll talk to you when I can and stuff. But we're always here. Any one of us is always here if you need us. Um, Mental illness is not to be taken lightly. It's to be serious, and let you know you've got friends, you got help, you got people who care. You know, so all right, Nitro. We'll catch you tomorrow in on the channels and on Discord. You know, you be safe. Um, you know, much love and honor and respect to you. Process. Um, always, you got me, brother. Right here, always. I'm always there. You know, battle bots. Yeah, the battle bots. I miss. I loved watching those with my dad. Just some of the robots that they come up with that they destroy. You know, um, sometimes, Dad, people just don't know who to call, and they call a 911 because it for them it's the best choice. They don't have that. They don't know that number. You know, um, I'd rather see them have someone come out and you know get reprimanded for calling 911 but not get in trouble because they needed to talk to someone. You know, um, I can research suicide hotline and put it in my description too. But with that, I'm going to sign off and say y'all have a good night. And, you know, 988 will get you help. That is good to know. Thank you very much. Thank you. Um, so if you're feeling helpless or whatever, you need to talk to someone called 988 and you'll get what you need. Um, if you don't get what you need, you'll get to start on the path to get what you need. You know. Um, so with that, I'm going to say sign off, and you know, you're not alone. Remember, you're not alone. There's many options for you out there. Um, Me personally, I like to see you all take the option to survival and not the option to for a permanent solution to a problem. You know that you can't get out of. You know, so um, process. Thank you very much. Um, yeah, thank you. So with that, I'm going to sign off. It's very moving tonight. Um, wow. Thank you all so much. You know, y'all be safe. Keep that rubber side down. Be the best you can be, best you can be. And remember, you're not alone. You're not alone. I love you all. You need me, I'm always here. And with that, I'm going to say good night and yep, y'all be safe. Be the best human you can be.